Alright, thanks for joining me. I made this video to explain how I achieved this beautiful double welt pocket with a flap. As you watch, please subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. I'll be using this fabric to show you how to achieve that. So whatever is done here can equally be done on any garment, including jackets, trousers, or any project that requires a welt pocket. So here is the right side of my fabric. As you can see, the reverse side is the wrong side of the fabric. So I'll be creating the welt on the right side. So that's why basically I'm just going to mark a straight line on which the pocket will be formed. But when you are working on a garment or a project, you need some measurement as guideline from the waistline or wherever your welt pocket will be created. So but here I have just basically ruled a straight line. So I want my welt pocket length to be about 5 inches. So I'll be marking 5 inches on my fabric using my chalk to indicate that on both edges of the line. So again, this line is 5 inches. Next, I'll be marking 1/4 of an inch above the line and 1/4 of an inch below the line. So as you can see, this is it. I have 1/4 of an inch above and below, making the width of this welt 1/2 inch. Here I have a doll face braided satin. I'll be using this as a pocket sack. I actually want it to be want the welt pocket to have a shade of black color as a design. So you can go ahead and use the same fabric, but this is just what I want. Remember, the width of this welt is 5 inches. So I'm going for a pocket size length of about 7 inches. So because after sewing, I want to have extra width of the fabric on both edges, yes, so that I can turn it over and easily sew from behind. So here the length of the welt is 5, while the length of my sack is 7. So I'll be showing you how to place it on it later on. The length of my pocket sack is 8 inches. So basically I have here 7 by 8 inches. I have equally cut out an interfacing of the same width. So I'll just go ahead and use my steam iron to infuse the interfacing on the wrong side of my doll face braided satin. So yes, this is it. I will be transferring this mark on the sack. To do that, from the upper edge of the fabric, I'll be marking 1.5 inch. So let me use a contrasting tailor's chalk here. I'll be ruling that across. And that is it. So like I said, the width of my welt is 5 inches and this is 7 inches. 5 inches minus 7, that's 2 inches. So on the edge here, I'll be going in by 1 inch. 1 inch. And on the other edge, I will equally go in by 1 inch. So that at the middle here, I'm left with my 5 inches. So I'm just going to cross check and make sure what I have left is 5 inches. Again, I'll be marking 1/4 of an inch above that line and below the line to have the same width on the main fabric. So having done this, I'll be placing this on the main fabric neatly, ensuring that the lines matches. After which I secure with my pins. So I'll be taking this to my sewing machine and run a stitch around it. And when I am done, I'll come back for the next process. After sewing around it, this is what I have. So next, I'll be coming out from the edge of that line by 1/4 of an inch. And then I'll be making a curve, a kind of triangular curve to meet the angle at each end. And then make a triangular curve to the edge of that line. And this is what I mean, if you can see it clearly. I'll just go ahead and make a little cut at the middle, and so that I'll be able to push my scissors in to cut through the middle line that was created earlier. Here I'm cutting through the true line. Getting to the point of the triangle, I'll be cutting to each edges carefully, and I'll equally do the same on this other edge. Again, I'll be repeating that on the opposite side. If you can see this very well, at the end of the day, this is what I have. So next, I'll be removing my pins, after which I'll be flipping it to the wrong side. From the opening, I'll be flipping it to the wrong side. And when I turn it to the wrong side and have this, I'll just go ahead and press it with my steam iron. After ironing, this is what I have. So yes, I'll be creating the welt right now. You just watch. On the opposite side, I'll be making a little fold about 1/4 of an inch out from the upper part. I will equally do the same on the lower part. I'll be folding it outward also by 1/4 of an inch, making sure the hole that was created is covered. After pressing it down, I'll be holding it in place with my pins. After folding and ironing, this is what the wrong side, this is how it looks on the wrong side. But let's turn it to the right side to see how it looks. Can you see? So the two welt is formed at the right side. So I'll go ahead and take this to the sewing machine and run a stitch on both edges. So after sewing it, this is what I have. I have gone ahead to stitch it down to secure those stitchings from behind. So, and when I turn it to the right side, I have this. As you can see, the two welt is formed. Yes, next I'll be making the flap. So to make the flap, I have another doll face material. I'll go ahead and iron it. So this material, to know the measurement, I'll be measuring the finished welt pocket. Remember, we started with 5 inches. So yes, I'll just be cross-checking to make sure it is still 5 inches or more or less. But here I have 5 inches. So on my flap, I'll be measuring 6 inches because I will be using half of an inch to sew each edge of the flap. So here I have 6 inches and the length is 6 inches as well. So 6 inches by 6 inches. Now I'll go ahead to cut an interfacing to stabilize it. So I'll be ironing the interfacing on the flap. Take this to the sewing machine to sew 1/2 inch on both edges. So I am back, and here it is. As you can see, I have made my stitching, taking 1/2 inch on both edges. So yes, I'm still making the flap. I'll trim it down, leaving about 1/4 of an inch. I'm doing this to reduce the bulk so that the flap can relax well. Again, I'll be notching the corners so that by the time I turn it out, it will turn out perfectly well. Ironing this out. So I'll be raising the upper part of the pocket and then push this in. After pushing it in, I have this. You can go ahead and sew your flap and make it straight. So but here I'll be making a kind of design, a slanted design. To make it equal and perfect, I'll be using some guideline. Here I'll be taking it in. I'll be leaving only about 1 inch outside. And then on the opposite end, I'll be leaving about 2.5 inches outside. From behind, this is how it looks. I'll take this to the sewing machine and make a stitch on it to hold it in place. So after stitching it down from behind, this is what I have. You can see how neat it looks. So I'll go ahead and trim this excess off. So yes, next I'll be cutting a cover for this pocket. Right now this pocket doesn't have a cover. It is time for me to create a cover for it. And to do that, I'll just go ahead and measure what I have on fabric here. Here I have 7 inches by 7 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut a lining of 7 inches by 7 inches to cover this up. So here I have the pocket cover. Remember, I'm using a lining. You can use any fabric of your choice. And the width and length is just the same as what I have as my pocket sack. So I'll be taking this to the sewing machine and sew around the outer edges. And once I'm done, that will be the end of this project. Okay, so the pocket is ready. As you can see, the job is done. I have gone ahead to make my stitching around the edges. Here I'm just trimming the rough edges so that I can have it neat. So I'll be showing you how it looks on the right side. So on the right side, this is what I have. So when I want to put my hand aside, I'll lift the flap and can you see that is it. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up. And that will be all for now.